Ayo, welcome into Studio A of CHGO. I am Sean Anderson. I am not used to doing this, Herb. It's been a bit. How do I do this? Oh, right. Welcome into CHGO. You can sign up for PointsBet using code CHGO to get 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000. Welcome into Studio A of our CHGO offices. I need our guy Joey here, producer of CHGO Cubs. He knows like every single host's like intro and outro, their whole spiel.
That's weird.
I am
because he doesn't do our show.
He doesn't. But he apparently listens to enough of all of them.
Thank you, Joey,
to know about them. So I'm Sean Anderson, the host of CHGO White Sox. I was off on Sunday, and we were off yesterday. So I'm just completely off my game. I'm Sean Anderson. You can follow me on Twitter at Sean_W_Anderson. Alongside me, as always, is Herb Lawrence.
Hello.
You can follow him on Twitter at Ecknerwall23. What's up, Alec, in the chat? It is time to start a 2-game series with the Colorado Rockies. An unusual foe. We did see the Sox take on the Rockies back in July in a 2-game set, and it was a weird one. It was a close one in the first one. The Sox won that one, and it was a close one in the last one, and Kendall Graveman blew that one.
Yep.
Herb, what do you remember from the last time the Sox and Rockies faced off?
The thing that is mostly vivid in my mind is Leury Garcia getting picked off at third base. I don't know if I forgot if he was like the tying run, but he was on third base with the left-handed batter up, and he's just wandering off third base because they're in a shift. And the third baseman just runs over there, picks him off. Leury looks ridiculous, and that's the inning.
And that was on a walk, right?
Oh, yeah, I forgot. The person walked. It was Yasmani Grandal, I think, who walked, and then he picks Leury Garcia off. The White Sox.
Moncada, I think it was.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay, they had a chance to get something going and continue that inning, but Leury's like, F all that.
Yeah. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I thought of that, and then Kendall Graveman being bad as well. He was very, very bad in that game. So I hope it's a much smoother series for the White Sox. We did get some news from the Sox earlier today, and the man in the box is going to be Tony La Russa. Rick Hahn did speak to the media, and this is an update for you on what's happening with Tony. He will not return to the dugout for this series, and the reports are saying that he will be spending the games in a suite for the White Sox, so he will be in the stadium, but he will be not managing the team for the next 2 games. And our guy Vinny Duber on Twitter saying Tony La Russa will be at Guaranteed Rate Field the next 2 days. He'll be watching from a suite, and Rick Hahn was asked whether or / how Sox will make a determination on whether La Russa can / will return to the dugout this season. Hahn said team will listen to medical expert. That determination has not yet been made. And Hahn, if TLR situation and Sox play under Kaiwa were managerial evaluations for 2023, it's way too soon for that. We've been trying to navigate the last few weeks under unique circumstances. The team has done very well. As for next year, it's simply far too soon for that. I agree with Rick on that. 2023 is very, very, very off in the distance. Let's just see how 2022 ends. But right now, we are just going along without Tony. How do you feel about the situation and how the White Sox and Rick Hahn specifically have now addressed the situation? How you feeling now with Tony back in Chicago and around the team?
It's just weird. Like, if he's healthy enough to be here and witness the games, wouldn't he be healthy enough to manage the games? I mean, I know it's more stressful, I guess, which baseball is not a big-time strategic game. I mean, there's a couple moves that are made, but it's not a big-time, oh, my God, I can't do this move. My head's swimming now. He's in the stadium. He's going to be feeling the same things that he usually feels when there's a clutch situation up there. If he can be in the stadium for that and feel the atmosphere, then why can't he be in the dugout? If they're keeping him away for certain reasons because of success they've had without him, cool. But I don't know why he's here. There's no reason for him to be here if he can't manage. Go home. Watch the game from your Chicago home. Go home, watch the game from your Arizona home. Why does he need to be in a suite? Is he a special guest?
His best friend's there.
He's the manager.
Jerry's
like,
there.
if he wants to manage, go and manage.
Yeah. I mean, again, they're going to use the crutch of he's not medically cleared. And I think it is a crutch. I think that he probably could get clearance to manage, but being 77 years old probably isn't the smartest thing for him to at least be on his feet. I think that's probably why he's not managing. I think just being on his feet, being active, having to walk around, having to at least do those things, talk to the media, just those extra stressors. I think just watching the game is stressful enough for Tony La Russa, so the added stress of having to do those extra things that a manager has to do is probably too much. So I don't know. It's a man's health, so like I don't want to get too into it and too like, conspiracy theory on it. I think the White Sox are probably keeping Tony La Russa away because we hear that Miguel Cairo is giving these rousing speeches and Josh Harrison saying, oh, well, maybe it's just when you tell a kid a different tone and they hear it in a different voice or coming from a different person and they kind of latch onto it. It sounds like the players enjoy playing for Miguel Cairo. It doesn't sound like they don't not enjoy playing for Tony La Russa, but it does seem like they enjoy playing for Miguel Cairo. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And I think that's what Matt Zawoski was saying with you guys on Sunday.
Yeah, and it's weird, though. I initially learned about pacemakers back when I was a teenager. Like, one of the things that you did want to do was travel a lot. So I don't know, pacemakers have probably come a long way since I, first found that out. So I don't know if traveling is a bugaboo for pacemakers still, but going to Cleveland after Wednesday afternoon's game, and then going from Cleveland to Detroit. While short flights, all of them, still not great to be flying if a pacemaker's involved right there. I don't know if that's causing some of his health problems with the constant travel that a baseball team does.
Yeah, I think it's probably stressful to at least travel. I think the only person that I know that has a pacemaker is my grandfather. He's younger than Tony La Russa. Tony was born in 44. My grandpa was born in 46. So my grandpa's around 76 years old. So Tony's a little bit older than my grandpa, but my grandpa's had his pacemaker on a little bit longer. You could travel with it, but I think just even traveling, it probably stresses you out. It's a strenuous thing to not be in your own bed, to not have that same routine. You're probably thrown off your routine. I think it's just probably, again, the extracurriculars. Can Tony La Russa travel with the team? I think he could, but could he travel, have that long day of maybe it's a night game and then you have a day game and then you have to travel to Cleveland and then you have to travel back? I think maybe on Friday he joins the team if he does get medical clearance, but I do think that it is possible if the White Sox just say he's not medically cleared for the rest of the season. And maybe they just don't make that announcement until they have to.
Just like an IR stint that just keeps on going?
Right.
Oh, yeah, you got a sore toe. No, I don't. Yeah, you do.
They did it with Luis Robert.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't really know what was going on with Luis Robert, with the whole, dizziness, vertigo situation. We ended up figuring out he had a virus and then needed just certain I think vitamins and stuff like that just to kind of balance him out. But we did hear the White Sox kind of go silent with the health updates, and maybe they just go silent with Tony if they keep winning.
And I'm glad that Rick spoke today. It's been a minute.
Right. Yeah,
it's been since the trade deadline. That was a month plus without hearing from your general manager. I'm glad he spoke up, though.
And he did have another update, too, on a big name for the Sox. Rick Hahn informs that Tim Anderson has been cleared to ramp up baseball activities. Sox don't have an exact return date yet, but Hahn says it's possible TA could return at some point during next week's homestand. Will depend on how the ramp-up goes. So if he is able to return next week, that is basically around the 20th, which is exactly when I told you he would return, because he was placed on the IR about 6 weeks ago, and they said that he would return in 6 weeks. So if he returns next week, he will return in 6 weeks. There you go, everybody. Hey, we know how to do math.
Perfect. I just wonder...
everyone was getting real anxious about Tim Anderson coming back.
I just wonder how he's going to get ready for baseball action. There's really no minor league season anymore.
Charlotte goes until the 28th.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
I thought you didn't go until that long.
They were pushed back because of the
pandemic.
lockout.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, usually you're not having games, so maybe you can get a couple of bats this weekend in Charlotte, be ready for next weekend. So if he can ramp himself up for Major League Baseball service and then hit the ground running, not White Sox-like, where the White Sox have you at 85%, then you go to Charlotte, and then you come back to Chicago at 90%, and then still have to have days off after. It's no. When he comes back, he better be 100% healthy. We're going to be running for the playoffs. We don't need days off, days in, days off, days in. This is why I said early in the season, winning those games early will help you later on, so you don't have to be in this situation where you're 3 games behind the Cleveland Indians.
Well, and you don't have to be in this
Guardians,
situation where like people are like, "Oh, the Angels have a 1-0 lead. Like they need to hold on to it." Like we are hoping for the Angels to hold on to a 1-0 lead. Please, I would like to put my effort and energy in somewhere in some other basket here.
Literally turned to the 8th inning of the Angels Guardians game last night, thinking, "Hey, all right, they got some people up. They had Trout, Ohtani." And then I think Ward up, and I was like, okay, here, they're about to do something. They did not do anything.
No.
Oh, and former Cub great Matt Duffy. He got a single.
My guy. And just to update you, Charlotte is down in Norfolk. They're playing on the 13th through the 18th down in Norfolk. So maybe Tim Anderson starts ramping those up, has 2 days where he's ramping up, and then maybe he plays on the 15th, 16th, 17th, and 18th down in Norfolk. Maybe he only needs 3 games on the 16th, 17th, and 18th. Because I think it's just maybe, a timing thing, right? Because it's not really coming back from too much of an injury. I don't think that...
And the soreness of the hand, like, he probably hasn't done a lot with it. That's what wrong.
Yeah, it was a tear,
sagittal
band tear. I don't know how much that's going to affect your entire hand, though.
Just like the exercise of swinging a bat, the exercise of throwing a baseball, those are, you're reintroducing those things to your hand. There's not natural things to grip a bat and to swing it as much force as you can. Those things would probably have some soreness, and he has to break through the uncomfortability of it, and think it's not hurt, as they said with Yasmani and Eloy. You just have to get used to some scar tissue, a little wear and tear, a little soreness that you might not be used to.
And that next homestand that Rick Hahn talked about starts on the 20th against the Guardians, and then they play the Guardians from the 20th to 22nd, and then they take on the Tigers from the 23rd to the 25th. So hopefully TA is back by the 20th. I know some people have been wondering, like, what do you do with playing time and what do you do with Elvis Andrus? Elvis Andrus, get used to second base. I don't think it's too tough of a discussion. I understand Tim Anderson had a rough last 40 games before he got injured, but that's still Tim Anderson. I mean, he's still the guy for the White Sox.
He's the starting shortstop of the American League this year, so if anybody's going to usurp him, would have to be somebody of his age or closer to his age that the White Sox can see moving forward as their shortstop. Elvis Andrus might get re-signed by the White Sox, but Tim Anderson is the future, the present and the future of the White Sox. So taking him off of shortstop would not do well for him, not do well for the team. You move Elvis Andrus out there, it has a less of a shakeup than moving Tim Anderson from the position he's only played in baseball to a position that he's not familiar with. Elvis is the lesser of the 2 players in status for the White Sox going forward, so you make him do the movement.
It will be interesting, too. Let's look at the starting Sox here, because Elvis Andrus is about 6 games away from playing his 1900th game at shortstop. So this will be his 1895th game at shortstop in his major league career. He is leading off for the Sox, has been fantastic in that position for the Sox since he's been put up there with TA being out. They tried A.J. Pollock. People clamored for A.J. Pollock to be the leadoff hitter. That's really died down. Elvis has came up and has been fantastic, or came over and has been fantastic for the White Sox. He's leading off and playing shortstop today. Batting second, Yohan Moncada. He's at third base. Batting third, Jose Abreu at first base. Batting fourth, Eloy Jimenez at DH. Batting fifth, Gavin Sheets in right field. Batting sixth, Andrew Vaughn in left field. Batting seventh, Luis Robert in center field. Batting eighth, Yasmani Grandal at catcher. And batting ninth, Romy Gonzalez at second base. Herb, I love talking to you and not having to talk about Luis Robert and his injury and having to mention, will he play or will he not play? It's good to see him in the lineup, but it's not fun watching him play baseball. Do you remember the last time he got a hit?
It's been a minute. I'm just going to guess it was August 29th.
August 24th against Baltimore. He had 1 hit, so he has, I think, about over 10 plate appearances recently with no hits. What have you been making of this whole Luis Robert situation? How are you feeling about it?
I'm still pissed that they didn't put him on the IL after the Detroit game, where he obviously got hurt. We thought it was going to be more serious than in the White Sox initially did, and they threw him right back out there eventually, and he got hurt again. Like, I don't think he's going to heal himself without proper rest. I don't think this was proper rest. He got off the whole Oakland series. I don't think he's going to be good today. He might have a couple good swings, but I don't feel like a wrist problem, which he kind of re-injured while he got hit in the hand the other day while trying to stop the bat. That's probably hard as hell on the hand and on the wrist to stop his momentum. I just want him to be on the IL for as long as he needs to be so he can be healthy. If he was initially put on there, he would have already been back would have had his AAA games and been back from that rehab start. Now we just are like with the shell of himself. You see why he's in the 7th spot. That's a yelling at you that he's not ready. That if he was ready, they would put him up there in the top of the order.
Well,
being at the 7th means that they know that he's not ready and that he can't contribute like he should contribute.
Well, I think James Fegan has mentioned that when Luis was coming back, like you could see in batting practice, like he was still swinging with one hand. So I think if he was swinging with two hands and he looked all right, I think you're right. He would be up in that batting order. But him being down at 7th really doesn't give me any positivity. I'm not really looking forward to watching Luis Robert swing a bat tonight. Let's look at the Colorado Rockies lineup here. Leading off for the DNVR Rockies. Hopefully we don't call them lowly and piss off the people over at DNVR. But leading off for the Rockies is going to be Ryan McMahon playing third base. Batting second, Jonathan Diaz out in left field. Batting third, CJ Cron at DH.
I've heard of him.
Batting fourth, Charlie Blackmon in right field. Batting fifth, Brendan Rodgers at second base.
Yep.
Batting sixth, Randall Grichuk in center field.
Yep.
Batting seventh, Michael Toglia at first base. Batting eighth, Elias Diaz at catcher. And batting ninth, Alan Trejo at shortstop. Who was the guy that was made up on the A's?
Machine?
Oh, Machine. Well, he was I think he was kind of
Emil
like a top
Machine?
prospect, yeah. I know there was some people.
Oh, there was another one. Bride. There's another.
Jonah Bride.
Jonah Bride. He was a made-up player. Nick Allen with that regular ass name.
There's some kind of made up players on here.
Yeah, there are. I don't know why team. I know they spent a lot of money on Chris Bryant, who never plays apparently, but this is ridiculous. Like they literally had Trevor Story and Nolan Arenado on their team, and John Gray. No, not a championship team, not a team competing for the NL West, but that's CJ Cron is all right. He's gonna hit 30 home runs this year. But you should have somebody hitting 30 home runs as a Rocky.
Right.
But that rest of that team doesn't like when I look at their team and I look at the Pirates, it's like those are show places for baseball. You should match the energy in the ballpark and what the ballpark brings you with the roster. That's nowhere near. I would never go to a game there with this type of roster, even how great the Colorado Rocky or the Coors Field is.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're looking at this team, maybe you're not used to some of these names. Cron was pretty good with the Twins, so you might recognize him.
And the Tigers, and he got hurt with the White Sox last year.
Yes, and I think I said Diaz, Jonathan Diaz. It's Jonathan Daza. He's got a weighted runs created plus since August of 156, so he's a guy that you might want to watch out for. Ryan McMahon, kind of a younger prospect that was big in their farm system. Since August, he's got a 130 weighted runs created plus, but outside of that...
Brandon Rodgers was a highly touted guy.
Yeah.
I couldn't wait to get other people out of here so Brandon Rodgers can take over.
Garrett Hampson stunk.
Yeah.
They really don't know how to figure out how to make baseball work out there in Colorado.
It's very weird.
They get a lot of help with the air.
I don't know how he's doing right now, but the Toronto Blue Jays sure showed
Raymond
Tapia to do some things out there, but in Colorado, he was an afterthought.
Well, in Grichuk's kind of a foe here for the Sox. No, wasn't Grichuk kind of a shit stir at some point? I think he shit stirred with the Sox, or maybe he was supposed to be. Maybe he was picked before Trout.
He was the guy
picked
before Trout.
Maybe I'm just mixing that up with, and the Sox could have had him. But I think there might be something with.
He might have said something about Tim.
I think he might have.
I'm trying to think of. I think he might have said Tim should play the game right or something like that, and Tim said some words back to him.
Like that Phil Meyer guy on the Royals who was just had no career with was talking all this shit.
Yeah, I'm glad he's out of the league.
Yeah, me too. All right, let's look at the starting pitching tonight for the Rockies and Sox. On the bump for the Sox is going to be Michael Kopech in 114 and 1/3 innings. He's got a 3.78 ERA. 83 hits allowed, 102 strikeouts, 57 walks, and 105 ERA plus. MLB average is 100. Chad Kuhl on the bump, 117 innings pitched, a 5.38 ERA, 127 hits allowed, 92 strikeouts, and 50 walks, and an ERA plus of 87. How you feeling about Chad Kuhl?
Great. Awesome. Those numbers look delicious. I hope the White Sox are fighting at the bat rack when they see this guy, as they did on, I think it was Saturday when they crushed the Oakland Athletics. It was Thursday when they crushed the Oakland Athletics and Friday.
14-2.
They did it both days, yeah.
And Friday. They got 10
20
hit
hit
performances.
I killed. This is a nothing pitcher, but I said this before when we faced the Colorado Rockies in Colorado. The White Sox played 2 games there, did not hit a single home run. Not one. In Colorado. They scored, I think, 2-1, and I think they lost the second game like 5-6 or 6-5, something like that. So no home runs, and it was Herman Marquez who was supposed to be their ace, and Anthony Senzatella. Nothing names, just like Chad Kuhl is, just like Freeland is tomorrow. The White Sox got to look at these people and say, let's see, as they've been doing lately with most pitchers they've been facing, no matter what. They did that to Luis Castillo last week. They have to feel like Chad Kuhl is nobody that could step in there and not feel good at the box when he's pitching against them.
Yeah, I think this is exactly what the doctor ordered. Let's look at Chad Kuhl's numbers, and honestly, let's look at Kyle Freeland's numbers together. Did I put them together? What do we got here? Yeah, we got Kuhl's and Freeland's numbers since July. So these are these two since July. 21 games started, 107 and 2/3 innings pitched, 128 hits allowed, 78 earned runs allowed, 41 walks, 89 strikeouts, 24 walks, and an ERA of 7.09. 14 of those 24 home runs also against right-handed hitting. So this White Sox lineup, if we want to look at that, that has a ton of right-handed hitters, just absolutely have murdered Chad Kuhl since July. 76 batters faced that have been right-handers since July. They have a 409 batting average, getting on base at a 474 on-base percentage clip, slugging 833 against them, 2 doubles, 3 triples, 7 homers, 6 walks, 11 Ks. If you could pull up the starting lineup, I think the Sox with their right-handers should absolutely smash Chad Kuhl tonight.
Yeah, and mostly right-handers. If I was Yoel Moncada, I would bat right-handed. I know he's not comfortable as such, but just bat right-handed so he can get fat off of that.
He hit 2 home runs recently, right?
Yeah, exactly. His stroke has been real right-handed. But, yeah, this is a nothing pitcher, and with the inclusion of Elvis Andrus, I see this team has been ascending offensively, scoring runs all weekend long. I mean, I think it scored like 38 runs between the last game in Seattle and the game on Saturday versus the Oakland Athletics. So they're crushing. They're hitting balls really hard right now. Continue it versus Chad Kuhl and Freeland, and make sure the White Sox do not leave here with nothing less than 2 wins versus the Colorado Rockies.
Yeah, and if you're feeling like Edgardo is and thinking Kopech's due for a good game and thinking Chad Kuhl has some bad numbers against right-handers, head over to PointsBet and place some money on the Sox now this football season and I guess this baseball season as well. PointsBet's bringing you a better way to bet live on games. I had a blast betting on the White Sox inning line on Thursday. They were rolling against those left-handers the A's were throwing out in the 6th inning. Live bet the White Sox to win the 6th inning at plus 200. Wow. Turned like $1.75 into $5. It was real nice, Herb. So if you're watching PointsBet and you're seeing some numbers that you like, take advantage of these lines. They're the best lines out there. And remember, too, you could build the perfect live same-game parlay with PointsBet. If you're watching the game, you can combine your favorite bets anytime during the game, including spreads, totals, player props, and more. And you could choose the outcome of the next at-bat, the next play, the next inning, the next 2 innings, right, with PointsBets and their lightning bets. So whether you're on the move or on the couch, do it live with PointsBet. Download the PointsBet app today and sign up with the code CHGO to get 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000. And if you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER for crisis counseling and referral services. Herb, the one bet I love today, looking at those Chad Kuhl numbers, Jose Abreu to hit a home run. It's at plus 425. I am going Jose Abreu with my click to pick. I think the White Sox win 8-2 night.
Okay. And to answer Tyler Shelby's question, just not my type of comedy. You know, I understand why people like it, but Blues Brothers is not my type of movie. Just like Step Brothers, not my type of movie.
Really?
Mostly anything that I know Blues Brothers is not driven by Will Ferrell, but anything that Will Ferrell has to carry, yeah. Give me a touch. Give me a little squeeze of Will Ferrell or Kevin Hart as side roles, the sidekicks. Like, was it 40-Year-Old Virgin? The perfect amount of Kevin Hart. Quick cameo, get your ass out of there. Same thing with Will Ferrell.
If he's used in, like, I think Will Ferrell, one of his best films, or one of his best roles is him in Eastbound and Down as the car salesman.
Perfect.
Like, you know, him is a great character. Like, he can nail.
Old School, he's ensemble cast. I know John Riley's on part of it, but he takes the movie over.
Yeah.
Yes. Kevin Hart in Scary Movie 3. Perfect.
There you go.
A perfect amount. My click to pick is this guy right here with the chain.
Hose?
No.
Oh, Luis?
Right next there. Luis
What?
Robert. The chain's right there. I think, even though I said all the stuff I just said before, I want to wear the chain tonight, And so I think Luis Robert breaks out at home. I don't know why they put him in. If they would put him in if he was still hurt, I think he is. But I'm going to have to trust them and say that Luis Robert's back to being all right, and he'll get a couple hits tonight, one of them leaving the ballpark.
All right, there you go. Here's Jose Abreu since August 4th. I saw some of this discussion online. We have a little bit before this game starts. 158 plate appearances for Jose since August 4th. 47 hits, but only 6 doubles, no triples, no homers, 11 RBIs, 10 walks, 33 strikeouts. He's slashing .331, .386, and slugging .376. Are you worried about Jose? I think he bounces back, hits one of these homers. We can kind of see that he's trading away that power and looking just to get on base for this team, and it's been working. I think that this team, especially the way they've loosened up a bit, I think Jose is going to loosen up a bit, maybe start cracking over some homers. He's been making contact. I'm not worried about him. And I saw some dialogue today about these numbers and the fact that he doesn't have a homer since August 4th, and some hot takes like Jose's washed. Like, Jose is doing whatever he can right now to help this team, and I think that he will turn it around. I think tonight is a perfect day to do that.
It'll be a great day to do that, but like we've been locking him in the 3 or 4 spot for a while now, and those spots are for power hitters. He's not a power hitter right now, and he's only 9 points off the AL lead for batting average race, where Xander Bogaerts is at 319, and of course Twins great Luis Arraez is at 317. Jose sitting at 310 right now. Maybe he should be moved up in the order. Maybe he should be the second guy. A guy who gets on a little bit more, gets on base, gets singles. If you're not going to get home runs, where Eloy's hitting home runs now, Elvis hitting home runs now, but Elvis is our leadoff hitter as of now. I would say that Jose needs to move up a little bit in the order, because the 3-4 hitters have to be your best hitter and a power hitter, and he's neither of the two. I mean, he might be the best hitter, but not the power hitter.
Again, like I said, Pito for leadoff hitter. Let's do it. I'm for it. Herman saying, if Jose doesn't hit for more power, do you move him in the order? I don't think the order is that sacred. And I think the order is probably going to get shaken up a bit when Tim comes back, because Tim's probably going to be the leadoff hitter. I'd be pretty shocked if they moved him out of that spot, at least when he first comes back. I mean, we see him being careful with Robert, but I think once Tim comes back, you'll probably see him go back to the leadoff spot. Yoan feels like he's got a swing, so I think they'll probably have him second. Then Jose, Eloy, Vaughn, Gavin, Elvis, Robert.
Yasmani in there somewhere. He's like, do we have to play a catcher?
I don't mind him. I don't mind him and Sebi batting
just
ninth,
the ball just he's going to the backstop.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes you might be better off. Just have it play off the backstop.
Hey, Matthew Cortese going away from the 5-0 win. He's saying 6-3 tonight. Obviously, he's not feeling too good about Michael Kopech. How you feeling about him?
I'm feeling all right. I mean, it's a team, as you said, Ryan McMahon can hit the ball. Charlie Blackmon can hit the ball. They have some people in the lineup that you've heard of before that can hit it hard away from Coors Field. But Michael Kopech, when he's on, no one can touch him. It's his own brain and his own injuries that stop him for the most part. So I'm feeling good about him today. I think he's going to go 5 innings. He's going to probably be on another pitch limit where they're watching him and making sure his knee is good and his arm is feeling good. But if he can get through those 5 innings with 0 to 1 run earned, I'll be great with him.
Watch that velocity. If it's high and he's able to hit 94, 95, I think it should be a good day for Michael Kopech. Hopefully he's able to find that velocity. And all you people that were hoping for an Angels win, it is now tied in the bottom of the 5th. Runners on 1st and 2nd. Ahmed Rosario's up. He's 0 for 2, by the way. It's 1-1 in the bottom of the 5th. So the Angels and Guardians currently tied right now. We'll see what happens. Sox are 3 games back. They're 72-69. Guardians are 74-65. We'll see if the White Sox can win Game 1 of a 2-game series versus the Rockies. We will join you after the game is over. Herb, do you have a score prediction?
I think the White Sox are going to win 7-2.
All right, I said 8-2, so we're real close here. So we'll see if a one run really decides this or not. That's Herb Lawrence. You can follow me on Twitter at Ecknerwall23. I'm Sean Anderson. You can follow me on Twitter at Sean_W_Anderson. Thank you guys for hanging out with us on this pregame show, and we'll talk to you after the game. We'll join you about 10 minutes after the game goes final here on the CHGO Sports YouTube channel. Make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell, and thank you to Stephen Nicholas for producing the show. We'll talk to you after the game, and go Sox.